Hi there, welcome to a Kneppy Invest, and welcome to an absolutely fascinating day of trading, particularly when it comes to Wall Street overnight. We saw the Nasdaq down a fair bit, including a lot of those AI companies. Nvidia down 16% or so. We haven't seen that sort of reaction on the Australian market because we don't have those sort of companies here, do we? I did notice that a lot of the data center companies in Australia were down a fair bit, like NextDC, Goodman Group. And I'm going to say right now, based off all the information I have read everywhere, that this is an absolutely overreaction from the market. Now, I might not have thought that when I started reading about I still want to say deep state, deep seek last night or yesterday. But as I've read more today, it looks like maybe the developers embellished a little bit. I'm just going to say maybe, but we are getting, or I have been reading some information that they have embellished some of their facts or their information. Anyway, I'll leave it at that because I would assume there's going to be a lot more information coming out over the next few days, next few weeks, and it wouldn't be surprising to see a massive bounce on Wall Street overnight, particularly if we get more information like that coming out. Okay, so this video will not be about DeepSeek, what happened on NASDAQ overnight. This will be about what's happening on the ASX today. And even on the ASX today, it's been an absolutely fascinating day. Now, every single trading day, I have this notebook. Here it is, my notebook. I write down all the companies that release interesting announcements. So I do this every day. I've been doing this for a long, long time. And this is how I come up with the top 5 stocks of the day. I write all these companies' ticker codes down. And some days it's really easy. Some days I only have a choice of like 6 or 7 companies. Today, I have a choice of about 30 companies. So dwindling that down to the top 5 stocks of the day was a hard, well, actually, it wasn't that hard. I'll be honest with you, it wasn't that hard. I easily left out a few companies, and the companies that did make it into top 5 stocks of the day, their share price up a lot, up over 10%. I've already called it the stock of the day, Sigma Healthcare. Really, it's on Chemist Warehouse. Chemist Warehouse did release a trading update today. And if you know anything about me, you know those are my favorite types of announcements. So a really interesting group of companies. So I'll actually talk about them right now. Sigma Healthcare stock of the day. Pure Profile coming in number 2. Nuix coming in number 3. Really fascinating trading there today. A company that I do own, Mayfield Group, number 4. And Dropsuite, number 5. I'll briefly talk about some of the companies that did not make it, including quite a few interesting reactions from the market in regards to Appendix 4C. Some really positive reactions from the market. Unfortunately, those companies did not make it in the top 5. And I might do a standalone video on some of those companies because some of them do look quite intriguing. Okay, so let's turn out, and by the way, if I do have a little bit of time, I'll go through some of your comments. Another thing I'm just thinking of doing is having or showing you the status of my last 5 trades or the last 5 positions I've taken in my trading portfolio, which would be Synlait Milk, Mika Metals, Synlait Milk, Mika Metals, and a few others. And I thought if I do that on a consistent basis, you could just see what I'm looking at every single day for companies I am trading, particularly because I do tend to focus more on companies I've just bought. Companies I've held for, say, 6 months or even greater than 6 months, I don't focus on those companies as much. Definitely focus on those companies I've bought recently. So, for instance, Synlait Milk, if I have looked at one chart today, it's been Synlait Milk, and quite happy with that company today. Synlait Milk was up about 15% last time I looked. So 19.32%. So this was a good trade. I will have a look at this chart during this video. So really liking the reaction from the market today around that company. Okay, so if you do like that idea, just leave your thoughts in the comment section of this video. Hopefully I've explained that well enough because, hello, I've only had 1 hour sleep in the past. So I would have woke up at 6 in the past 32 hours. Okay, so let's have a look at the ASX today. Not surprised that we aren't down big. NASDAQ down 2.9%. I'm pretty sure it was about down 2.9%, 2.97%, but the Dow Jones, in fact, was up 0.65%. So whenever you see the NASDAQ down a lot and Dow Jones up a little bit, that means the tech sector was hit hard, and a lot of those companies in Dow Jones Industrial are not tech companies. The Russell 2000, I have a feeling that would have been down. In fact, I haven't had a look at it, down 1.42%. Actually down 1%, and that's probably why the small caps or the small ords is down 0.88%. Resources down 0.44%. Uranium has been hit hard. I'm not sure why, but I'm pretty sure there will be some explanation somewhere about uranium. That was one of the obvious sectors down big when I looked through the top losers today. So let's have a look at the ASX today. By the way, tech has rallied pretty hard today. Down as low as 8,000. Well, I'm not sure if that's where's tech. So let's have a look at the XTX today, because just based off the chart I saw there, we've seen a pretty good rally here. Oh, yeah, we have seen a really good rally, which is probably an indication that I think there could be, just could be, a really big bounce on NASDAQ tonight. Because I do think we have, well, not we, but the market has significantly overreacted to this DeepSeek news. And we have seen this in the trading of tech today. In fact, at one point, yeah, the tech was down as low as 3,800. So it has actually risen about 70 points. So we're talking about 2%. It's risen almost 2% from its lows today. And that's a good sign that, hello, we might have seen overreaction on the markets overnight. And here, at the beginning of trading, a lot of people would have panicked. They would have seen the big down day for Nvidia and other tech companies over there, particularly those tech companies associated with AI, and they just panicked and sold on open this morning. And if you bought on open this morning, you've done pretty well. Anyway, so that's X Tech. You can just see on this chart here, it's bounced really nicely. XAO and XJO, no tech companies in, or very few tech companies in that. Well, very few tech companies that will be affected by DeepSeek are in the XJO and XAO. That's why it's just flat. It's gone nowhere today. Sectors, discretionary up, telecommunications up, both up by more than 1%. And we can see a bifurcated market, can't we? So a few sectors up big, a few sectors down big. It's not one of those days where all the sectors are up or all the sectors are down. In fact, utilities down 1.93%, energy down 1.96%, and real estate down 2.53%. The reason real estate is down 2.53% is because of Goodman Group, I think. I'm assuming that, let's confirm, because Goodman Group is by far the biggest company in real estate. It dwarfs all the other companies. It might be like 40% of the real estate sector. So if we rank this by market cap, or maybe not 40%, I'm just looking at this really quickly. So Goodman Group has a market cap of 67 billion. The next biggest is Scentre Group, has a market cap of 18.9 billion. So if Goodman Group is down big, 8%, that means this particular sector would be down big. If it's up 8%, that means this sector would have been done pretty well today. Digico Infrastructure REIT down 10.7%. So those are sort of companies that would be down big today because of DeepSeek, and I wouldn't be surprised to see those companies' share price up significantly tomorrow, depending on what happened on Wall Street overnight. Okay, so let's have a look at the ASX 20. Pretty good day, up 0.3%. And should I go into it? I'm thinking maybe skip this part. I don't know. 14 companies up, 6 down. I like that. I was born on the 14th of June, so we have 14 and 6 there. So it's all good. I like those two numbers. And the best performing company in the ASX 20 today is Aristocrat. Aristocrat. I did read something about an upgrade from somewhere. So that's why Aristocrat is up today, because there was an upgrade, a broker upgrade. REA Group, I would consider that tech, and it's up 1.72%. QBE, trading that company, I like that it's up. And as we go down the list, yeah, so CSL only up 0.11%, and the worst performing company, Goodman Group, we already know that. And Macquarie Group down as well. Why is that? Why is that? If someone can answer that, I'd love to know. I can't think of any reason. Maybe it's some infrastructure they do own. Maybe they do own data centers, that sort of thing, and maybe that's why it's down. Okay, let's have a look At the top gainers today, I'm hoping a lot of the companies that did not make it in my top 5 stocks are in this list. Red Hawk Mining. I actually did write this down. They have been acquired by Fortescue. Share price up 44.51%. Funny enough, 2 of the top 3 performers today are up because they have been acquired. Dropsuite is in my top 5. I wanted to talk about Dropsuite because they also released a trading update. And I thought the share price was up 30% because the trading update was quite positive. And then later on, they released an acquisition announcement. So share price of Dropsuite up a lot. In fact, if they weren't being acquired and if the share price was up 30%, this would have been a nice breakout trade. DMEM, share price up 22.73% on fairly low turnover. The company did release an Appendix 4C. The market has liked it. I won't have a look at the Appendix 4C here because it'll take a little bit of time. I'm just going to have a look at the chart. Share price up 22%. Is this a good-looking chart? Is this a good-looking one? No. I'm sorry, DMEM, it's not. Operating cash flow positive, by the way. Let's go back to the top gainers. AG Lucas, not sure why. Reed Cloud, another company released good, maybe surprisingly good Appendix 4C. It's a cyclical company that typically Red Cloud's best quarter is the quarter we're in now. So what quarter is that? That's the March quarter. Typically, that's their best quarter. And we're coming out maybe their worst quarter, and their worst quarter, not that bad. And I think that's why the share price is up 22%, because the market might have expected something worse, although turnover is quite low. Let's have a look at the chart for Red Cloud. It had been looking good, and then the share price pulled back. So let's have a look if this is looking positive. Yeah, no, I'm not there yet with Red Cloud. By the way, the volume today has been fairly weak, so I need to see some bigger volume coming through, sort of like what we saw back in June of last year. Pure Profile, talk about Pure Profile in my top 5 stocks today. Share price up 18.75% on an upgrade. Mayfield Group, the company I do own. I'll talk about that company as well. And Synlait Milk, go Synlait Milk, up 18.18%. Oh, and Xpon down the bottom there. Company called Xpon Technologies, up 16.67%, share price 1.4 cents, turnover $53,451. So not a lot of turnover there. So not a lot of interest in this particular Appendix 4C. I had a quick look at it and I went, geez. That's my first thought was, oh, geez, this company is really small. Market cap was about 14 million, I think. No, 4.35 million. So according to TradingView, this company has a market cap of 4.35 million. According to MarketDex, yeah, $5 million. So that's after the share price has risen. So, okay, I'm going to have, so the other Appendix 4Cs I have not had a look at. This one's a little bit different. This one could be interesting, just where the market cap of the company is. Now, the receipts of Xpon are quite lumpy. So I wouldn't analyze these numbers at all, because if you analyze these numbers, you're going to do the wrong thing, and you would discover this company is the cheapest company in ASX history. The reason I say that is this particular quarter, receipts up to $5 or $4.6 million, and the company was operating cash flow positive by 2.1 million. 2.1 million in a quarter. So if you analyze that, and by the way, no investing cash outflow and no financing cash outflow, so all that money fell to the bottom line. So cash on hand actually increased from 3.3 million to 5.5 million. That in itself is interesting. This company now has more cash on hand than the market cap, and I doubt they have any debt. Oh, they have a little bit of debt, $1.1 million of debt. Now, the reason I'm saying you can't analyze this, because if you analyze this, you'd say, well, this company has analyzed cash flows or operating cash flows, even free cash flow of more than $8 million a year with a market cap of $5 million. Hello, cheapest company in ASX history. This would be, I'd put all my money into this. And no, I wouldn't do that. I'd put all my money into, I'd back up my truck. So I would take that number with a grain of salt and go through their previous Appendix 4C. So I actually might do a standalone video on this one, because I do think that's important, that you can't just look at one Appendix 4C in isolation. You need to look at quite a few, because that's an impressive operating cash flow for a company with a market cap of $5 million. So a little bit of buying coming in, but not a lot. Now let's have a look at top gainers by market cap. We have Sigma Healthcare, stock of the day. Dropsuite, Sydney Milk, Red Hot. I've already talked about all these, haven't I? Nothing else here that I do have to mention. Although Bioxen, that is in my list. Bioxen released their Appendix 4C. Share price up 10%. No surprises there. I should do a standalone video on their Appendix 4C too. Really nice growth. Operating cash flow, free cash flow positive. Really good growth in cash receipts. It was all there. All the information was there before today. I'm not sure why people are buying. We already knew this information before today. But people are buying, and Bioxen has reached possibly a long-term high. The chart's still looking pretty good, without doubt. Yeah, it's reached an all-time high today. So got to 3.5 cents. So still looking a really good chart for Bioxen. Did not make it in top 5 stocks of the day, however. Now on to the top losers. Top losers. What do we see here? Nuix. Really interesting trading for this company today. Share price down 20% on a trading update. And this is really interesting because I was trading Nuix. I got out because of one trading day. I think it must have been bad results, negative results. And the chart started to look a little bit ugly. And this is possibly more proof that just using technical analysis can keep you out of these bad days like this. So I got rid of my Nuix shares quite a while ago because the chart started to look pretty ugly. The other thing I notice about the top losers here, in fact, you notice this more when we look at the top losers by market. A lot of uranium companies. I don't know why. I'm going to have a look in a second, but Bannerman Energy down 19.65%. Lotus Resources down 18.63%. Burgundy Diamond Mines down 30%. They did release, by the way, some sort of update today. BDM, company I've never looked at. I'm assuming they mine for diamonds, or maybe they mine for cards, playing cards. So quarter 4 results, obviously it's pretty bad. Share price down 30%. I don't know. I haven't had a look at it, but yeah. Anyway, down 30%. Okay. By the way, the markup of that company is fairly low. Well, 69.65 million. It's not that low. It was lower than that. Nuix has a markup of 1.42 billion. Gee, that's high. BrainChip down 17.95%. Okay, this is the definition of a story stock, and it's still a story stock. So BrainChip. Let's have a look at BrainChip, down 16.7%. Not surprised. Appendix 4C. If you haven't looked at this, how much cash receipts do you think this company generated in this particular last quarter? Just have a guess, wild guess. You're cheating if you already know. The number is 50,000. This company generated $50,000 of cash receipts in one quarter. So far, $233,000 of cash receipts in the year to date. So that is actually 12 months. This is a definition of a story stock. And still, the market is very hopeful about the performance or future performance of this company. And at this point in time, BrainChip has a markup of $631 million. This is the sort of company I might trade, just might, but I'd never own for the long term because you could get wild swings in the share price because what's driving the share price higher and lower is just sentiment. Nothing to do with the financial performance because they have no finances. They have no cash receipts or very little. So share price down a fair bit today. And by the way, just looking at technically, there is an important level around about 31 cents. So if you're trading this, you don't want to see below or drop below 31 cents. Sort of that level right there. So that's a BrainChip. I still have no interest in that company. Nothing much else there. So let's have a look at the top losers by market. And you'll just notice a plethora of uranium companies here. Except for Goodman Group. Well, we already know that. But Paladin, 10.56% down. Silex Systems, they produce or manufacture uranium, something to do with uranium, down 9.63%. Deep Yellow, down 16.7%. Boss Energy, down 11%. Vulcan Energy is lithium, isn't it? Down 8.65%. NextGen, down 12.78%. It's just uranium company after uranium company. Lotus, down 18.63%. Bannerman, Global X Semiconductor, not to do with uranium, and there's Peninsula. And there's the beta shares Global Uranium, ETF down 10.99%. I have no idea what's caused this uranium. I don't think it's to do with deep seek. I still want to say deep state. Uranium prices. Just going to Google uranium. Why are, so Motley Fool says, or ask the questions, why are your ASX uranium shares falling so hard? There we go. Uranium stocks tumble as DeepSeek raises doubt about AI energy demand. I don't know if that can't be true. That just seems a ridiculous reason. Let's see what Motley Fool Australia says. Motley Fool Australia says they say nothing. They actually don't have any reason. Oh, actually, no, they do. Yeah, they're actually also saying it's to do with AI. That's absurd if that is the reason. I'm going to go to my favorite source of information. What about the AFR? I wonder if the AFR has anything here. Do I trust AFR? Should we trust AFR? Let's have a look. Nothing there. I'm going to go to Capital Brief. There must be a better explanation than just AI. So let's have a look. Australian funds exposed to NVIDIA's DeepSeek sell-off. I think that sell-off might be just one day, which will be interesting. Here we go. So there we go. Aristocrat Leisure, buoyed by Goldman Sachs upgrade. Looking for gold sell-off. Trump tariff comments. Oh, jeez. Oh, Gold Road did release results today, and maybe that's why. Yeah, shares lower as calendar year 25 guidance disappoints. But up here it says Gold Road leads gold sell-off after Trump tariff. Even in Capital Brief, there's different information there. Dropsuite, Digico Riot. Here we go. Uranium miners sink as Inkai resumes production. DeepSeek raises doubt on energy demand. I reckon it's more to do with Inkai resumes production. I may be completely wrong, but that seems more logical to me than uranium being sold off because DeepSeek. That's just absurd. That's absolutely absurd. Anyway, maybe the market is being absolutely absurd right now. Okay, so that's the top losers, I think. Yeah, I've gone through all these, haven't I? Yeah, gone through all these. That's the top losers. There's a couple of other companies I just want to mention. This is an interesting one. I saw this one today, and a company called Bougainville Copper, share price up 1.37%. Quarterly production report. I thought, I don't know anything about Bougainville Copper. I'm going to open this up and see what the production has been like in the past quarter. It was a one-liner, and I found this one line to be one of the most fascinating one-lines I have ever read by a company. The directors of Bougainville Copper report that there has been no production since 15th of May, 1989. I was like, you really have to announce that? There's been no production since 1989? That's 36 years ago. I was like, that's just like one of the most fascinating announcements I've seen. There's been no production since 1989, since I was a wee little boy. Yes, okay. Thank you for that information, Bougainville Copper. That has really made my day. The other one was Dimerix. I'm going to show you this because I think this is important. So share price down a little bit today. That's okay. This company, they're not in production. They do get a bit of money from the deals they've made in the past. But this is something bit of a bugbear for me. If you go have a look at the cash flow from operating activities, the company had no receipts for customers in the quarter, yet they did produce an operating cash flow positive quarter of 1.8 million. How can you have an operating cash flow positive quarter when you have no operations, when you have nothing producing cash, receipts? That's because government grants and tax incentives are in the cash flow from operating activities section. Now, I'm not blaming Dimerix because I'm pretty sure all companies put into that section. So there must be some rules about that. I still believe that should be in financing activities. It's just a one-off. $7.9 million received from government grants and tax incentives, and that's why they're operating cash flow positive. I'm hoping, I haven't gone through the commentary, I'm hoping they have not announced their operating cash flow positive. I'm hoping they have not said that. I would be so upset if they did say that. Let's have a look. No, they have not said. Oh, they did say that. Right down the bottom, net operating cash inflows for the December quarter of 1.83 million. But at least they've mentioned they received a big tax incentive rebate. Okay, so just always be aware that you need to understand why a company might be operating cash flow positive, because I do know some people who just focus on operating cash flow. That's all they focus, and they might not realize why a company is operating cash flow positive. So that's Dimerix. Share price down a fair bit in the last few days, by the way. Yeah, not sure why the share price went from 53 cents down to 45. Just a bit of shift in sentiment. That could be it. Okay, so some of the other companies that did not make it in top 5. So before we get to the top 5, we'll just have a look at some of these other companies. Do I really have to look at Swift Networks? I think not. Nah, I think not. What about Button? This is an interesting one. Operating cash flow positive by a very small amount, and the chart looks nothing. So we'll move on to the next one. Bellevue Gold released a bit of an update or report or something, quarterly report. Share price is still in a bit of a downswing. Vection Technologies, operating cash flow positive. I have a feeling they were. Share price down for 10%, however, and it's at support. This is one I am trading right now because share price pulled back to 3.6 cents. I probably should have sold at a nice 10% profit. Down 10%. Not sure why. Again, I think this is just sentiment. Demem, we've already looked at that, haven't we? Felix, this is another one. Felix Group, operating cash flow positive. What's the chart look like? Ooh, share price up 12.5%. Chart doesn't look awful. I would like to see a little bit better volume. Metro Mining. This was a really good quarter. However, I think they do cease productions this time of year because it is the wet season. A monsoon is developing up north in the Weipa area. Will not be surprised to see 2 tropical cyclones, or at least 1 tropical cyclone develop within the next week, either on the Coral Sea or the Gulf of, I was going to say Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of Australia. We should rename it, instead of Gulf of Carpentaria, we should rename it Gulf of Australia. Damn it. Anyway, so Metro Mining had a really good quarter, nice results, really good looking chart here, share price up 3.45%. I've already mentioned Xpon. VRS had a nice little report, but the chart looks horrendous. Something about profitability, increase in profitability or something like that. Gold Road, negative report from this company based off the share price movement. And of course, there we go. Chart looked really good, share price down 3.24%. Viva Energy, share price down 2.56%. A company called IDT, some sort of education company. IDT Australia. It seemed like they did release something positive. Share price up 19.1%. There you go. Not the best looking chart, but not the worst looking chart either. And that might be it. Have I mentioned every single company? I think I have. No, I have not. I missed a whole column. Hydrix. Nice cash flow for this company. Or was it receipts? Although receipts are going sideways. And a big increase in share price the other day and a pullback. And what else do we have here? Oh, Resonance Health. Following this company for well over 10 years, receipts sort of going up very, very, very slowly. Receipts have started to accelerate. I have to find out why. Chart does not look good. However, share price is up 11.54% today. And a company called Parked, P-A-R-K-D, something to do with parking a car. I have no idea, to be honest. And this company also released a very interesting Appendix 4C. Share price up 8.7%. And that's all the companies that did not make it. So let's have a look at the top 5 stocks of the day. I actually will go through this fairly quickly because I spent a little bit too much time on other stuff here. But coming in number 5 is Dropsuite. Here's what happened today with me and Dropsuite. So yeah, at 9:28 a.m., I saw this quarterly business update. By the way, because I did a shift overnight, I have this routine. So my shift finishes about 7, and then I go for this 2-hour run. Now, when I say 2 hours, it doesn't mean I come back home at 9 a.m. What happens is I sort of leave the house at maybe 7:30 a.m. It takes a little bit of time to get ready. So then run for 2 hours. I get back home, and then I go straight to Woolworths to buy some stuff. Then I come back home. So around about 10, I get to the computer. Market has already been open for 1 hour, and I go through all the announcements in chronological order, starting at the first announcement released today. And that, I'm not sure what that was, but I got to Dropsuite's announcement, quarterly business update for Q4. It looked really good. I was actually impressed by this. I was actually really impressed by this. And then I saw, because you can see the, because, I saw this announcement about 1 hour after the market had opened, and I saw the share price was up about 28%. I was like, oh, this could be a nice little trade. This could be a breakout Dropsuite. So really big increase, acceleration in annual recurring revenue from 42.6 to 49.8. So a cash on hand is increased. And I just thought, oh, this is a really good quarter. It took me literally about 30 to 45 minutes to go from that announcement released at 9:28 a.m. to go to the next announcement the company released at 9:40 a.m. Only 12 minutes. It took me ages because I was reading, there was a lot of announcements between those two time periods. Dropsuite signed scheme implementation deed with Ninja One. So the reason maybe the share price is up because a takeover bid. I was actually getting really excited because I had a look at the chart also before I saw that takeover bid announcement. And I had a look at the chart and went, oh, this chart is looking really good. Really good pop-up in the share price. This could be a nice little trade. Look at the volume coming in as well. I was getting so excited saying this could be a trade, and then takeover bid. I went, takeover bid. And to be honest with you, I was going to take Dropsuite. In fact, Dropsuite would have been the stock of the day if the share price was not up because of the takeover bid. It would have been the stock of the day, by the way. So then it moves Dropsuite from number 1 to number 5. Anyway, so that's my story of Dropsuite. It went from being excited. I'm not a shareholder, by the way, but I just like the chart and I like the announcement. And I was thinking, as I read the takeover, I was like, why? You're performing. You're doing really well. Why are you just willing to sell this company, which could be really cheap, because you're performing really well? Anyway, so I'd be a little bit disappointed if I was a shareholder of Dropsuite. Mayfield Group. I've been holding this for a while. Share price. I've been given no reason to sell. I think this company is cheap, good value. Have not released anything for a long, long time. I've been waiting and waiting. So the last announcement they did release was their final report on August, and then nothing. When I say last thing they released, I'm talking about price-sensitive announcement. They did have the AGM presentation. Don't even remember if I read that. And then all of a sudden, they released 2 announcements today. New contracts and special and interim dividends declared. I'm pretty sure the interim dividend is 1 cent and the special is 5 cents. So a pretty nice dividend yield, but not great. New contracts, not the sort of announcement that would get me excited. But I'm not going to complain about this. Share price up 19.1%. And if the share price can close at or above $1, that would be really positive for this company. The other thing I should mention is share price is at the high of the day. Open at 88 cents, now at $1. So not the sort of announcement that would get me excited. In fact, I'm thinking, why are you giving shareholders a special dividend? Keep that money, deploy that money to grow the company in the future. That's the best thing you can do with the money you generate in your business. Don't necessarily give it back as dividends. Now, maybe they thought about that. Maybe they had a capital allocation meeting and they thought in the end, the best thing they can do with the money they have is to give back to shareholders. But again, dividends, even if they're special dividends, are not free. When they go ex-dividend, the share price of Mayfield Group will drop by 5 cents because that 5 cent dividend will be taken off the share price of the company. It's not a free thing. The best thing I could do, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, best thing a company can do, most companies, maybe not all companies, best thing a company can do is to use the money they generate in the business to grow the company in the future. Now, that's easier said than done, by the way. And I think a lot of companies and management companies would fail to do that successfully. Anyway, so that's Mayfield Group. By the way, the contracts are pretty good, nice. Not 19% nice, though. Anyway, that's out of the chart. This chart does look interesting. I'm waiting for it to, there is a bit of resistance at this level. So we saw the last few times the share price got above 95 cents. Back in April and then in August, the share price pulled back. So we really want to see the share price stay above that level. preferably stay above $1. So pretty good day for Mayfield Group. The other thing is, and I just noticed this right now, because I always have a look at the volume. There was a bit of an increase in volume before this day. Loose lips. And look, I'm not gonna say there definitely was, but this is a sign. We saw increase in volume leading up to this announcement. That's a little bit suspicious. That is actually really suspicious, to be honest with you. And also the share price started to climb as well. Anyway, I'm not saying anything. I'm not implying anything. I'm just saying it's a little bit suspicious. Not saying anyone did it. Just saying I would investigate that sort of thing. Okay. Coming in another 3, we have Nuix. This is a really interesting one. Also released a trading update. Share price down about 20%. I have been trading this. Oh, results update. Well, I suppose they got the word update there. That's all I need. I don't really follow Nuix all that closely. A really high valuation. Was a 1.4 billion market. So you really need to see really good results. So they do have the first half 25 numbers here compared to the first half 24 reported, and then change on previous corresponding period. Cash on hand has increased pretty nicely, up 25 to 29%. Statutory EBITDA and underlying EBITDA down negative. Cash EBITDA up a little bit. Statutory revenue up a little bit. And analyzed contract value up a little bit as well. I had no, what's the best way to say this? I had no leaning towards whether this announcement was good or bad. I was like, no, I don't know. I haven't been really following this company all too closely since I sold out, took my profits. So as soon as I saw this announcement, the first thing I did was check the market reaction. And I was surprised to see, not surprised, but it was interesting to see the share price down 14%. And then I went to the chart and I was shocked to see what happened on trading today. So yeah, there could be something else in here. Maybe that's why the share price is down. Any sort of outlook statement. Didn't really go through it. Anyway, so the market has not reacted well to this. And to be honest with you, it's not a surprise. And the reason it's not a surprise is if you have looked at the chart of this company, really positive sentiment has turned, and it turned well before this. You had a lot of time if you're trading this to get out. A lot of time. We did see a crossover in the moving averages a few days before today. So definitely the sentiment had shifted from positive to negative. Beautiful run up in share price. And really the catalyst here was the 13th of November. So was that AGM or maybe some results? Share price down 22% on that day. That was the catalyst to get out. Now, that was my catalyst to get out. I don't think I sold on that day, but I sold shortly thereafter. And with the share price dropping below 550, that was another sign. And then today. But the one thing you'll notice with this candlestick, it's actually green. And you'll notice that the share price opened at around about $3.20. That means the share price has gone up 33% since the low of the day. This was panic stations on open. I was just shocked to see this particular chart. This is the 1 minute chart of Nuix. This is panic state. This was retail investors just overly panicking when they saw this announcement. Share price opened within the first minute. The share price recovered about 5%. Share price opened at about 330, fell to 320, probably within seconds. And then the next 5 minutes, the share price just went up and up and up. In fact, in 5 minutes, the share price went from 320 up to $4. So we're talking about, what's that, a 25% rise in share price in 5 minutes after the share price had dropped probably, actually, what was the share price drop? So the share price was 540. It opened at 330, 540, 330. So we're talking about $2.10, $2.10, 540. We're talking about a 40% drop in share price on open. Now it's only down 19.9%. So share price has found a balance, looks like. Or share price has been drifting lower, by the way, during the rest of the day. So really nice bounce here for Nuix, and now drifting lower. So a negative update from Nuix, and even though the share price has bounced today, it's still a negative looking chart. From negative to positive, Pure Profile. Getting a few comments about Pure Profile. I'm not sure if I've answered them. So let's see if I have not answered them. Pure profile. No, maybe PPL. Oh. No. No. Maybe I've answered them. Let's have a look. PPL. Oh, here we go. Medical investor. Think it's time to take a position in pure profile. Pretty sure there was more comments than that. Fishball 1634. Pure profile may be breaking out after the massive volume the other day. Price action is very positive. So yeah, maybe there was only two comments. I did pay attention to these comments. I was thinking, and then I looked at the chart. I was thinking, actually, I think they're right. So there is a lot of opportunities on the ASX, and this is one opportunity that I just let slip by. Anyway, so let's have a look at why share price of Pure Profile is up 25%, or 18.75%. Was up a little bit more at the high of the day. First half, financial year 25, and second quarter, financial year 25 business update. This is an upgrade. This is an upgrade, the most powerful type of announcement a company can release. Financial year 25 financial guidance upgrade. They mentioned the word upgrade here, so we don't have to think about that ourselves. Following exceptional first half financial year 25 revenue growth of 22%, with second quarter financial year 25 revenue growth accelerating to 30% on previous corresponding period. So previous revenue was expected to be between 55, 57. Now it's between 57, 58. You might be laughing at that, saying, what sort of upgrade is that? It's an upgrade. And a lot of times you'll see really positive reactions with that sort of minuscule upgrade. It's an upgrade. The company's performing better than expected. That's a really good thing. And on the flip side, if it was reversed and previous guidance was 57 to 58 and they decreased it to 55 to 57, share price probably dropped 20%, not rallied 20%. So it's a fine line sometimes between upgrades and downgrades, a very fine line. EBITDA increased from 5 to 5.7 up to 5.2 to 5.8. So yeah, it's a positive announcement. As soon as I saw this, I went, share price is going to be up. And it was up a fair bit as well, about 20%, I think, when I looked at it. So let's have a look at chart for Pure Profile. And this is a pretty good looking chart. So it's really the sentiment started to shift probably September, October, maybe confirmation in November. The other thing to note is we've seen some spikes in volume, some really good volume coming in today, but before today we saw a couple of spikes in volume as well, which can be good indication. Share price pulled back the last month or so, down to about 3 to 3.2 cents, and then has rallied today. I can definitely understand why there has been a little bit of selling today. Share price reached a high of 4.2, now is at 4 or 3.8. And the whole reason there's been a little bit of selling is because there would be some shareholders who bought only about a month ago at higher prices, saw the share price fall and went, I've got to get out of this stock. Oh, the share price has fallen 10%. I just got to get out. And then they see share price rally and they get out. That could be a mistake. I'm just saying, chart's starting to look good. I like the volume. This is a good announcement as well. So Pure Profile. Two people called it medical investor and fishbowl. Congratulations to both of those. The stock of the day is Sigma Healthcare. I've already done a video on that. It's really on Chemist Warehouse. They did release, or Chemist Warehouse released, trading update, record sales and margin expansion, really good growth, really impressive expansion, not only in geographic regions, stores overseas, also margin expansion. My only question about Sigma Healthcare and this merger with Chemist Warehouse is the valuation. But I am starting, I wouldn't say seeing the light, but I really like rollout stories, overseas rollout stories if they're successful. So retail rollout stories overseas if they're successful, Lavisa. And if Chemist Warehouse can go down that track, I'm not sure if I would say they're expensive at these levels. Not sure if I'm there just yet. Anyway, so that's the stock of the day, Sigma Healthcare, or really it's Chemist Warehouse. Now let's have a look at a few of your questions. I'm just going to, no, I don't have to do that. Scott says HSN question mark. Okay, HSN question mark. Could I have picked this one? I have a feeling share price went on a rally recently. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. HSN. I have a feeling share price went on a rally. Yeah, share price went on a rally. If you can see, if you have a look at the chart over the last 4 years, it's done nothing. If the share price was down about $4, I maybe could have picked this company. Hence, I just have I'm not sure which way the share price is going to go. So it's a no for me when it comes to Hansen Technologies, just because I see nothing in the chart that I like. I'm not sure if I would classify Hansen Technologies as a high quality company. So let's do that right now. Looking at the chart, weekly chart over the last 20 years, we'll put on the 200-week moving average. So based off this particular chart, you could say whenever the share price gets below the 200-week moving average, it looks attractive. Hasn't done that often. It did it for actually extended period back in 2020, and it did it back in 2024 as well for a period of time. So maybe based off this particular chart, you could argue Hansen Technologies is a high quality company. Now that's just by looking at this particular chart. Let's have a look at FinChat. I'm just going to have a look at revenue growth, margins, earnings per share growth, return on equity, that sort of thing. I just want to see or get an indication on if I was inclined to go either way on this company. They've got the word technologies in their name, so that's a positive. Okay, so PE ratio 51.6. That could be I wouldn't say manipulated, but that could be, what's the word? There's a word for it. Influenced by one-offs. So that could be completely high, way too high. What else I'm looking at? Return equity 14.5%, 5-year average. That's okay. Return invested capital 9.8%. Would like that to be a little bit higher. What else we got here? Price to free cash flow 19.7. Like that to be a fair bit lower as well. PEG ratio 10.1. So what the market is saying, not much growth moving forward for Hansen Technologies. Revenue growth has been decreasing. Last 10 years, 15.2% per year. Last 3 years, 4.7%. That is a little bit of concern. We do see it decelerating in growth of revenue. Earnings per share is actually negative. In fact, over the last 5 years, it's negative 0.9%. Last 3 years, negative 28.8%. There again, that could be because profit is a little bit lower because of one-off. So might not, or maybe you should look at earnings per share growth as a good indication of how this company is performing. Dividend growth, last 5 years, 10.8%. Dividend yield, 2%. Not sure if I'd be calling this company high quality. I probably want a little bit more evidence. Chart, yeah, you could be swayed that way. But I'd probably buy this if the share price, if I was to buy this for the long term, I'd want to buy it when the share price was below the 200-week moving average. It's not there right now. That's just me. Jack and Nichols, hey mate, can you have a look at Delorean again? I am trading Delorean. Share price has pulled back. Again, just sentiment. It's just sentiment. This is what happens with these type of companies. I mean, these people selling at 13 cents could have sold not that long ago at 20 cents. So why are selling at 13 cents? It's just sentiment. Share price has, I would probably say it's really oversold right now. The company will be releasing Appendix 4C soonish. Maybe the market is saying we're a bit wary about this Appendix 4C. We don't expect some good numbers. Wouldn't be surprised to see the share price bounce. It's probably oversold a little bit. So yeah, down again today. Volume up a little bit. So chart is starting to look a little bit negative. So definitely the last 2 trading days look really bad, but it could be just it's just a little bit of negative sentiment. That's it. So nothing wrong with the business itself, I think. Or maybe I'll change my mind when they release their next Appendix 4C. I think I should finish there for today because I'm wanting to cough. Anyway, that's all I have for this particular video. If you have any questions, any thoughts, leave those in the comment section of this video. I know I'm not getting through all your questions and comments. There's just so many I have to answer. But anyway, I will try to get through as many as possible. So if you do have any questions, please leave those in the comment section of this video. Because if you leave them in the comment section of, Mr. Beast's, whoever he's called, I'll never get to see him because I don't watch Mr. Beast videos and I definitely don't read the comments. So if you do want to leave me a comment, make sure you leave it in the comment section of one of my videos. Anyway, that's it for this video. Don't forget, I am not a financial advisor. If you need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.